So much has happened since I last saw you.
Battle of the Bastards and the battle to reclaim Wall Maria are the best battle sequences I have ever seen. Hello, I am the Lazy Critic, and I believe that there is something special about these two battles in particular. Mostly because of their similar story structure, but also the way they stretch their characters to go as far as they possibly can before eventually seeing them at their breaking point during these battles.
Every man has his breaking point.
Each key player is forced to look within themselves and come up with the best possible outcome in a situation that is heavily out of their favor. Even with wildly different storylines, they share a lot of qualities, and these qualities are what propel them to be the best. Now, if you don't agree, hear me out, but leave a comment down below saying what you consider to be the best battle sequence, as I'm always looking for something new to watch. Also, this goes without saying, spoilers are ahead.
No one can protect me. No one can protect anyone.
In both Battle of the Bastards and the battle to reclaim Wall Maria, the fight begins off the field. The calm before the storm is used to establish the weight of what this battle will mean to the narrative moving forward. And as an audience member, it really feels like it could go either way, because these shows are notorious for killing off our beloved characters. Throughout the lead up of this battle, everyone's confidence is diminished before the fight even starts. By infesting all of our favorite characters with a stroke of depression, we get a chance to recognize the importance of this battle, along with a clear understanding as to why we should even care who wins. In Game of Thrones, we follow Jon Snow, who gets a chance to reconnect with his long-lost sister before the battle. It's a bittersweet moment.
I think they'll be safe here if Roose Bolton remains Warden of the North.
Sansa.
Winterfell is our home. It's ours. And Arya's and Bran's and Rickon's, wherever they are, it belongs to our family. We have to fight for it.
I'm tired of fighting.
And now we know Jon and his team are the underdogs. If they don't overcome House Bolton and win, which doesn't look like it's a possibility, Jon's family will not only be ripped away from him, but the identity of House Stark will be lost forever. Ramsay and House Bolton will be sure to take prisoners and leave everyone in a state worse than death. I mean, their house crest is literally a filleted man. In Attack on Titan, the weight of the battle is actually more intense. Being filleted is bad, but the sake of all humankind rests on the success of this battle and reclaiming Wall Maria. A loss will result into the annihilation of humanity. After having lost a good portion of their land to the Titans, humans are looking at large food shortages along with overcrowding, and overall, people are losing their will to live. Titans getting closer will lead to more death, and the Beast is doing everything he can to make that a reality. Both Battle of the Bastards and the battle to reclaim Wall Maria refrain from taking the typical approach most battle sequences use to establish the high stakes of a fight.
Same old shit, different day.
Over the 26 years of my existence, I've seen so many action-packed fights that I've now come to a point in my life where big explosions are no longer the things I want to watch in order to feel engaged. Who wants to watch the plot build tension to an epic battle scene only to have flat characters who don't build along with the plot? Bad character design can make any battle feel boring. I want the battles I watch to give me a sense of urgency, as it will make me care more about the fight as well as the characters who are involved. I want to see characters stretched thin. I want to see the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. A roller coaster of emotions is the only way for me to develop a connection to what I'm watching. Once the connection is built, then I can finally be immersed into the battle sequence. I hate being force-fed information just to lead the plot to a battle. I now strongly distrust any movie who claims to have an amazing battle sequence because of how much disappointment there is out there. Telling me to care is much different from me actually caring. But with these two crazy battle sequences, I cared a lot. Once we finally get into the meat of the battle, this is where Game of Thrones and Attack on Titan really start to stretch their characters to go as far as they possibly can, mentally and physically. The good side is being tortured by the bad side, and things are not looking good for our favorite characters. It's as if we're watching a boxing match where only one of them is landing all the punches. It's a bloody mess, and because of the time spent prior to the battle developing some of the lesser known background characters, they don't feel like nameless soldiers dying. Both of these franchises do an excellent job with their character development. Well, for the most part, and have battle sequences that are so much better because of the time taken with each character, big or small.
なんで俺生きてるのか
With Battle of the Bastards, we as the audience have already absorbed 6 seasons worth of content that makes us fall in love with everyone. So when we see them barely miss a blade to the heart, our own heart jumps with fear of their impending death. House Bolton really does a number on Team Stark, and they knock down our protagonist so far into the ground that it actually feels like him and his team may not be able to pick themselves back up again. Through very clever battle tactics, House Bolton takes the lead. Just seeing them all smushed together like that, there's no way they're gonna win. And the same exact plot point happens in Attack on Titan. The plot point where the antagonist starts off strong in the fight hits harder. Literally. If you thought Battle of the Bastards was gruesome, oh, the death of Baby Stark is nothing compared to the Beast and the deaths of basically the whole entire military regime. The Beast surrounds everyone with no chance of escape. There's no way they're gonna win. All the Beast really needs to do is starve them out until they give up from hunger, but this is the Beast we're talking about, and just like Ramsay Bolton, he needs to have his fun too. Both shows may have patterns of darkness playing into our love of these characters and ripping them away when we least expect it. This means that it's only logical to think the antagonist is gonna win. Based on what we've seen in the past, we don't usually get what we want with our favorite characters, and is why these battles are so unique. In Game of Thrones, the battle is wrapped up so nicely, with Sansa coming in for the win. She surprised everyone, audience included, and because of her character's growth, it's a win that feels earned. I love the little details at the end when Jon is about to dish out the final blow. As much as he wants to feed into his rage, he knows the satisfaction of Ramsay's death doesn't belong to him, but to his sister, to the woman who was attacked and raped by Ramsay Bolton. A perfect ending to one of the best battle sequences I have ever seen.
Hands will never harm me.
You haven't fed them in 7 days, you said it yourself.
That was until I got caught up with Attack on Titan in preparation for the series finale. Attack on Titan's Battle for Wall Maria really took the idea of what a battle can be to a whole new level. Battle of the Bastards holds a special place in my heart because of how much I love Game of Thrones. It's a live-action battle that is shot beautifully, as well as having such intelligent story writing. Yet, the animated Battle for Wall Maria has to be considered a contender. It's a whole new level of epicness. When I say new level of epicness, I say this understanding that there have been quality battle sequences filmed and animated who have already pushed the edge on what a battle could and should be. Attack on Titan used the best qualities of storytelling to give compelling cinematic experiences that allowed for all of us to feel the weight of the climax. Everything came together perfectly. I can rewatch both battles over and over again without ever feeling an extreme sorrow, like how I feel with any battle that is based on a true story, or even boredom after multiple rewatchings because the climax just doesn't hit the same way like it did during the first viewing. You can have great battles with this kind of mentality, but it will never have the complexity that I crave. With Attack on Titan, Levi and the Beast are having a showdown of the most epic proportions. At the same time, Armin and Berthold are having their own epic showdown. At the same time as other characters are going through their own emotions of the battle that they are experiencing. There's something really special about being able to watch a scene where you feel each character's unique stance on the situation ahead. Jon and Levi are notorious for their levels of epicness when it comes to the fights, opinions, and the overall presence they have in any given situation. However, Sansa and Armin are really similar. And these two characters were detrimental during these battle arcs. Without Sansa, all of Team Stark would have died. She clearly told Jon at the beginning of the battle that they weren't going to win because of their lack of manpower. So Sansa takes it upon herself to revert the situation and ask the man who sold her to be a slave bride for help in order to secure a win in this battle. I can only imagine how much this must have taken out of her, but she saved the day. Same happened with Armin, just not as nicely wrapped. Attack on on Titan is depressing, and how they handled Armin during this battle is a big example on how dark this show can go. He comes up with a brilliant plan to save the day. It just so happens to require him being burned alive. It's a difficult decision to make, and similar to Sansa, the results of the battle are worth more than their own life. This battle is bigger than them. Another example on getting characters stretched to go as far as they possibly can while seeing them at their breaking point. Both battles use their characters' narrative and make them experience the absolute worst situation a protagonist can face while in a fight with their antagonist. With Jon, we see him in so many battles that are amazing, but Battle of the Bastards just hits differently. From every shot, every line, and every punch, they really immerse you into the battle. It's as if I'm Jon Snow, fighting for the death, hoping for an impossible situation, and it's why I cared about the outcome. Levi goes through a similar string of emotion. He has to think about the greater good, but in a situation that doesn't just ask him to sacrifice his life, but the life of every single military personnel he is with during this battle. If I faced a similar situation, I would be blinded with rage, seeking the death of the villain. Jon and Levi both have the option to kill the antagonist, yet another great story structure similarity, but decides against it because they are truly above their rage and understand vengeance isn't everything. Character growth. It's why the ending of both these battles are so satisfying. In Jon's case, it wasn't his vengeance to take. He knew it belonged to Sansa. In Levi's case, he couldn't just let the beast power go to waste. He has a syringe and a chance to save a fallen comrade. Similar beginnings, similar villains, similar twists and similar endings aren't bad things to share because these similarities are what propel these battles to be the best. Thanks for hearing me out. I'm the Lazy Critic, and I hope you have a wonderful end to the year 2020.